Hi guys, in today's video I'm gonna talk about what to do when you are triggered by a situation or by somebody and how you can use triggers to raise your vibration. This is such a hard word to say, vibration, to raise your vibration. Most people, including me, have the tendency of avoiding triggers at all costs, not realizing that triggers are life's way of showing us what needs to be seen and healed. Every time we go through something hard, something challenging or traumatizing, we usually repress that so we don't feel so much pain and stress. What happens is that by repressing it, we are not eliminating that thing from our lives. We are only hiding it from our conscious mind, but it will show up in our physical reality. And this is just life's mechanism for us to grow and evolve. It's not meant for us to suffer. And then we see it in a physical reality and don't understand why we are living that, why we are experiencing something so uncomfortable. And then we repress it again for the second time, and then again and again and again. And each time we repress that into our shadow self, we make it bigger, we make it stronger and more evident in our life's circumstances. And this gets bigger and bigger so that we can actually see it and heal it. And by looking at it in the eye and accepting it, you can then let it go. By accepting it and letting go, you are making room for more light and expansion. And that's how you raise your vibration in a permanent way. I'll share something that I went through last week so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Last week, I was triggered by a family meeting. And this is such a common trigger because when we are around our parents, our family, we almost feel like we are kids again. When we have something that we didn't want to deal with, when we have unfinished business within ourselves. And then somebody said something to me that would usually trigger a lot of things and a lot of emotions. And then I realized that I was actually super calm and conscious at the time. And after the fact, I realized that I was so calm and conscious because I already healed that wound. And usually every time that person would say something like that to me would trigger so much of my inner child, of my wounded inner child. And I would cry, I would feel ashamed and angry. So it's pretty amazing to notice the benefits of shadow work. Okay, so what do you do when you are triggered by something? The first thing is being aware of your feelings, being aware of everything that is coming up to the surface without judging it. Just feel it, just notice the feelings passing by. After you allowed the feeling to come up without repressing it back, just don't deny it and just accept it. Like, yes, I feel extremely angry at my mother, at my father for saying that, but I know that this is not me. This is something that I didn't look, I didn't want to deal, and they are just bringing it up to the surface so that I can see it. Now I see it, I accept it, feel it, let it go. You may experience these feelings again in another situation, but you will notice the difference between the intensity, and eventually you will not feel it anymore. So if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like screaming, scream. If you feel ashamed, feel the shame. And realize that that is not you. It's just a wound coming up because it wants to be healed, and it can be healed. And of course, you can go through that with a therapist, with somebody to help you. You don't need to go through that by yourself. But I like to teach how to do it by yourself because you are all alone most of the times. You go through triggers all the time, every day, and you can do it by yourself for the most part. But if you have deep wounds and deep trauma that is hard to look at, I would advise looking for a therapist for sure. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.